What did they do for discipline in elementary school and high school? Was there a big difference too between them?
You could get your knuckles rapped with a ruler
Yeah.
if you didn't behave.
I can remember, this is a little bit beyond, but when my first year I was teaching, so this tells you how long this went, kind of. In my first class, there was a little boy who was always misbehaving and so forth. I can't tell you to this day what he did, but anyway, the superintendent or the principal or whoever was there called me in because it was my student. He said, "You have to come in and observe a whipping."
Oh,
And I said, I didn't want to do this. He said, "No, you're the teacher. You have to be a witness." It was horrible. I hated it. And he took off his belt and whacked the kid. A couple of good ones, I'll tell you. And that was not that long. Well, it is, but when we're talking, what we're talking, that had gone quite a while, and that was legal. That was in Portland at Hall School. So that kind of thing did go on. And nobody, I mean, you misbehaved, you got whacked, and you listened to some, there was one teacher, I guess I can say her name, she's history now, but at what was E.K. Sweet's school, she taught there, and she was a demon. She was a demon, and every kid in our age group and before and a little bit after has a story about being shaken by her or disciplined by her. I mean, she didn't put up with anything. And I can remember even when my daughter went to school there, had the same teacher, she came home crying one day and I said, "What's the matter?" And her friend, Karen, had been shaken. And Karen was a sweet little girl. What did Karen do? She had colored an apple purple.
oh God.
And the teacher was mad at her, and, you know.
Oh my gosh.
And our son came back once too. This was like kindergarten. And when he was about third grade, he finally told us this story because he thought he was going to get in trouble. But anyway, he did something in school. I have no idea what, but he was due for a shaking. And he knew what was happening, so he ran, and there were radiators, real cast iron radiators. And he stood and stuck his feet under the radiator, and she couldn't pick him up to shake him. So
Pretty resourceful.
it's a good family story now, anyway. But you know, she was. A lot of people in the town can tell you stories about Miss Burnell. She was something, and she was about this high. I'm not kidding.
Well, I don't know if any people got their psyches permanently damaged.
But we
from
all
the
have good stories.
rough treatment we used to have, but I don't feel mine was.
Well, you probably never got shaken.
No, I behaved myself.
But so there was, I don't know if you call that corporal punishment or not, but I mean, it was kind of rough.
Yeah.
Sometimes, even after I got out of school in high school and college, they were still doing that stuff. So, yeah, there was.
Not
Depending
like-
on which teacher you got, I would say.
And I guess in the high school, you just got, I don't know if they call
I don't know
it
if
detention,
that
but you
disciplined or-
might have to stay after school.
Yeah, your
Just-
parent come in or something, I don't know.
We were too big to shake.
Probably.